So when you're trying to decide which fabrics to put on your custom gear, it's a huge decision, I know. So it really helps to start by thinking about the conditions that you're going to be using the product in and the other components of your sleep system or your layering system. So starting with quilts, if you're using your quilt mainly in a tent or a pretty protected environment, let's say you have an inflatable sleeping pad, so you're not going to be putting that on top of any rocks or pine needles, you're already being pretty careful with your gear, then 10D and 7D make a really good sense for a quilt or a sleeping system. Those things basically come from your stuff sack into your tent and back. They don't really get exposed to a lot of abrasion, so that's a great place to save weight. However, if you're doing a lot of cowboy camping where you're just sort of throwing your quilt on the ground, or you're camping with a dog, then 20D makes a little bit more sense in those cases. It is more windproof than 10D as well, so it can help really seal in warmth if you're doing some tarp camping or just camping under the stars. Then with jackets, the same advice kind of applies. So if you're getting a Torrid and you're thinking, this is the best looking jacket ever, I'm gonna wear it around town. In that case, you might wanna get 20D because it's a little bit more durable. It can hold up to abrasion a little bit better when you're just using it around town. But if you're going with backcountry uses, you might consider getting a 10D or a 7D layer, mainly because those are a little bit more breathable. So when you're hiking in that Torrid, you won't sweat it out quite as fast. And then also you'll be able to still layer a wind shell or a rain shell over that jacket. So you don't really need that additional layer. You don't need the 20D on the outside. You can get by with the 10 or the 7 and save the weight. Because if you're building a quilt, you can actually save 2 ounces by going from 20 to 10D. And then if you're going from 10D to 70, you save about another ounce just off the weight of that quilt. So you can kind of think about the math there, and you're always gonna have a trade-off with durability, but it's something to really consider of like, if I could cut a couple ounces, would I? And the same thing applies with jackets too. So if you get 70 on one side of your jacket, you might be able to save maybe 0.3, 0.4 ounces and then really reduce your pack weight that way.